I haven't gone to the gym in about 2 months, and I'm gonna go back today. I'm recording this before doing it, before going out there and putting my life at risk with those weights on my shoulders, okay? But I will be here, and I will say if I survived or not. I ended up not going. I went on a walk, and when I got home, I did 10 push-ups because I felt guilty for not going to the gym. And yes, for those who are wondering, this is a Hideo Kojima reference. The shirt is kind of crumpled because it wants to resemble the tears from Death Stranding. Yeah, this is the first Strand-like t-shirt. But today, I didn't want to talk about the gym or anything like that. It was just in my schedule, and I wanted to make kind of a little quippy joke about it. I wanted to talk about how do ants survive the rain, or bugs in general. Look, this idea is not mine. I stole it from someone on Twitter. Here's the username. I don't know if they came up with this tweet, but it got me thinking. It got me thinking. So that's what we're going to look into today. Do ants drown from the water of rain? Is there a risk of rain drowning? Do you guys see what I did there? To answer this question, I seeked help from the internet and I found this really cool site called Ask an Entomologist. It's a site about, I think, entomologists, which are people that study bugs. And that's the question that was posted. It was posted on April 20th, 2015. What do bugs do when it rains? We're about to find out. It seems that most insects are cold-blooded, so they need to stay in warm environments. Bees being a prime example that's shown in this website. But basically, from what I read, and it's a really short article, if you guys want to look at it, I'll leave the link in the description. It seems that, well, they adapt to it, basically. They basically hide from the rain, or they just group themselves and fight the cold, because the insects, they are really hit by that cold that comes with the rain, and they can die. They can just slow down and, stay in a place, and boom, little guy comes, eat them, and they're dead. That's it. It's pretty cool seeing this image where they're basically beneath the plants to hide and seek shelter from the rain. I've never seen this because, well, I'm not actually out in the rain, but it may happen. This is an alternative. There might be like a full fucking horde of insects around you when it's raining and you just don't notice. And as crazy as it may sound, there are some small insects that can actually fly in the rain, like mosquitoes, bro. Those fucking assholes, they can live in the rain. That's why they're so strong. For the most part, they're small and the raindrops just don't hit them. They're so small, they don't get hit by the rain, which is crazy. And even if they're hit by the raindrops, they just kind of become assimilated into it and fall with it. So basically, it just doesn't matter to them. They don't die from it. But the real question is ants. How do ants survive the rain? That's the real question I have, and the most important one, in fact. How do ants that live inside the ground, beneath the surface, where if water falls on it, they just kind of get drowned, how do they survive the rain? I found an article talking about this in a little bit of detail from a site called Kilroy.com. It seems that ants can predict when the rain is coming. They know when there's a risk of rain. Too OP in my opinion. They can notice the change in the air, like the humidity and everything, and just prepare for it. They can kind of like know and then just talk with their ant friends. They can communicate with each other, and then they're just like, all right, we're getting out of here. All right, we're gonna go away. And they're like, all right, fine, let's move the shelter. Let's go away, which is crazy because there's a lot of ants living together. It's not just like one ant that knows what to do. It's everyone. They all act in unison to survive the rain. As incredible as this may sound, they can walk on water. I did not know this. Ants can literally walk on water. That's crazy. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Ants are too light to break the surface tension of the water, which means that they can actually walk on it. That I can't believe that. There are a few ants called fire ants that take a step further and basically, as a community, form rafts to survive floods of rains. And hills where the ants live, those holes that you see, or maybe like a little bit of a mountain, well, a little bit of a hill. They're not just for them to live, they also have a natural flood prevention system, which is crazy. They basically burrow at least a foot underground and make like system of tunnels that work like storm drains. So like when it rains, all the water goes into one place and they just leave it there so that it can be drained by the dirt and just go away, which is crazy. It's basically a full preventive system that they have so that they can survive. Some ants, when it rains, they just dig deep. They have an advantage where they can just form basically holes that don't penetrate water in, and they just hide in there. For anyone who might want to know, the deepest anthill where they hide from the rain record belongs to the leafcutter ant, which can be as deep as 26 feet. That's incredible. That's crazy. That's like 25 of me, bro. Wow. Uh, while in the ant world, it's a pretty extreme measure. Many species of ants just avoid the rain by digging. And yeah, I think that's how they survive, bro. which is crazy. This is so interesting. Uh, Shout out to the person that tweeted this because it made me want to look into it, and I hope I'm sharing some knowledge with people on this channel right now. I hope some of you are learning about how ants survive the rain and everyone else. And yeah, thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. If you want to make an ant colony, please prepare for the risk of rain too, just like they did. The ants on the natural world. How many risk of rain references did I make in this video? I have no idea.